What's up, YouTube? It's Chris with Murphy Firearms Training. I have this new gun and flower holster. I'm going to start this with telling you it is a universal hybrid Kydex holster. I'm going to try some different guns in this today. Going to unbox it, see what comes with it, try some different guns. It's supposed to be a universal holster. I do not like universal holsters. I have always told people universal holsters are bad because you don't get good retention. But supposedly this one has good retention if you set the screws right, and it works with a multitude of guns. Now, for folks who carry more than one gun because of different wardrobes, this might be an answer. We're going to find out. It is a Kydex hybrid, which is kind of like an Alien Gear type holster. It's a hard shell on the outside with neoprene on the back. We're going to open this up, brand new in the package, and it looks like, no, you do not need a knife. There we go. It's got a little starter notch. I was going to say, I might have to go get a knife, guys. Here it is. Let's open it up. Here's how it comes. Boom. Okay. And let's see what it says. It is one-stop manufacturer for polymer Kydex leather and nylon material, producing gun holsters, police duty gear, duty belts, badge holders, wallets, and other tactical products. So it's describing their company, and it's got info on there, contact info, and that's it. This comes out of the package as a little green piece of plastic, and that's it. No directions. So, and it's supposed to be able to handle different guns. So, for this holster, I've got a couple of different guns. I've got a Ruger American, chambered in 9mm. This is a 17-round 9mm from Ruger. Note that it's unloaded. I have a Glock 26, also a double-stack 9mm. I have a Beretta 92, right? Also note that it's unloaded. So 3 fairly large guns. And then I have a Smith & Wesson M&P Shield EZ 380 single stack, okay? Again, not a small gun, but much thinner. And we're going to start, I'm going to move these out of the way here. We're going to start with the Shield EZ. So I'm going to start with the Shield EZ, slide it in, see how it fits, okay? All right, in she goes. There's some gap here, but it's actually pretty snug fit, and it kind of clicks in. There's a little extra room up here at the top for this Shield EZ, but it does actually click into the trigger guard holder, and there's a little wiggle room, but it clips in. And we're going to wear this with a couple of different guns and see how it does. But that clips in. Okay. It's kind of nice, actually. All right. Let's try it with the Ruger. Ruger American. This is without doing any adjustment. This is out of the box. Oh, that clips in there tight. And you can tighten these screws up. There's actually 5 screws. 2 here, and 1 here to tighten the retention and play with that. Actually, it fits this Ruger well. Really well. And again, there's not a lot of wiggle room for this size gun front to back. Pull that out. Let's try the Beretta 92. This is an odd shaped gun. Actually, see if that clicks in like the other two. Kind of, sort of. Not exactly, but it's got an odd shaped trigger guard. This one is sticking out far enough. The front sight is out the bottom. And I want to see if I can make it. No. The way it's cut, you can't make that front sight catch. It's kind of nice. I was concerned. I saw that sticking out the bottom. I said, that's going to catch. But if I angle it really hard back, nope. It comes right out. So, okay. Cool. Beretta 92. And let's try the Glock 26, which actually is like, looks like it's the right size for this. Maybe a Glock 19. So there's a little extra in the muzzle here. If you look, there's a gap there. But it really clicks into those trigger guards pretty nicely. And again, there's a little wiggle because it's a universal holster. The other issue, of course, is the sweat guard is not going to go all the way up. So there it is on the Glock 26. And I actually would like it about that tight, maybe a little tighter. There it is on the EZ. So again, a little bit of the gun's exposed to your body. It's a universal holster. The thing about this that might be cool is if you have a gun you can't find a holster for. Again, on the Ruger American, a little bit of the sweat guard's exposed there. The pistol's exposed, not covered by the sweat guard. And then on the Beretta, actually almost all of it. And the nice thing is the Beretta has this very pokey safety. And the safety's covered by the sweat guard, so that's kind of nice. So there you go. Let me grab one more. Two more guns to play with. Ruger SR 1911. Again, note that it is unloaded. 1911 style handgun. Let's see how that fits. The 1911 is the first one that really has not clicked in and would probably fall out if I shook it. So we're going to play with these adjustment screws with the 1911 in a second and see. And then I've got this PSA Dagger, and this is a gun, it's a Glock 19 clone. Again, I'll show you that it is unloaded. It's a Glock 19 clone, but you can't find a lot of holsters for it, and a lot of Glock 19 holsters don't fit it. So because that Glock 26 snapped in so pretty, I wanted to play with the PSA Dagger. So if you have a PSA Dagger with a red dot, you might have an answer. PSA Dagger snaps in, wow, it actually snaps in like it was made for it. And again, there's a little wiggle front to back. Not a ton, but a little bit of wiggle front to back. The red dot does fit. And again, the sweat guard doesn't quite come over it. So far, everything, including the single stack 380 here, has snapped in pretty good. This one's a little loose. The 1911's a lot loose. I'm going to go grab a Phillips head screwdriver and see if we can get this 1911 to tighten up. Alright guys, so I'm going to put this gun in the holster. And I'm going to tighten these screws down. Lot of play in that one. Lot of play in that one. I mean, these are tightening. Well, let me check and make sure they're tightening and that the back is not just spinning. But I'm going to go ahead and give every one of these a little twist and see what happens. Okay, those are tighter. The ones on this side, the ones on the sight side of the pistol were already considerably tighter. Nah, that didn't help. Let's see. No, those definitely tightened. They're definitely not spinning in place here. Give that another maybe full turn. Another full turn there. Another full turn there. Something like that. See how that... still not there. And it may be that it doesn't work on single stack guns. I don't know. We're going to tighten it down some more. Let's see. We still got some screw left. Let's see what we can do here. Those are getting tight on this side. These are still not tight over here, so that may... Well, that one's getting tight. And that one's getting tight. And that one's getting tight. All right, so we got a little wiggle room. Let's see. It's still not retaining it like I'd like to see. Still not clicking in on the 1911. Now, I will say, this being an IWB, your belt is going to squeeze this down, and it's going to help retain your pistol. But my question was, can you tighten this enough? And see, this screw here is already poking through. Let's see if you guys can see that. So maybe doesn't work with 1911s. I'm going to try just a little more. Now nothing else I own will fit in here because I've tightened these so much. So it still just slides right out. Pretty lax. So doesn't work with 1911s. They list several SIGs, several Glocks. They list an M&P. And this is made for the Glock 1917 size gun. So, you know, I mean, but those are double stacks. They're a lot chunkier than a 1911. Let me loosen these up a little bit more. and put the dagger back in here and see how it does. That may be the gun I end up carrying in this, is the dagger, just because it snaps in so very nice, and it's like, oh yeah, that's nice. I mean, it doesn't budge. And like I said, there's a little wiggle room front to back, but overall, that looks like it was made for this gun. If this did not have the threaded barrel, it wouldn't even protrude out the bottom. That really, really fits in there nicely. Gonna switch back to the Ruger American. That's the other one I would consider. And again, you see here at the muzzle, it's 4.5-inch barrel, Glock 17 size gun. It clicks in. You listen to it click in nicely. Clicks in nicely. And again, with your retention set right, I can throw it out if I really try. But then again, if I'm not happy with that, what can I do? Tighten these screws down. So I can tighten these screws. I can give these screws a spin or two, and this thing will stay in nice and snug. Two pretty big, pretty beefy clips. And again, the clips kind of curve this way. If you've got a thick enough belt, they'll definitely bite onto it and stay. They look like they'll stay well. I'm currently testing the holster as we speak. When I get done testing that one, this will be my next one. So I've got another week or two that I'm going to wear it. And then I'm going to be toting this one for about a month or two, carrying it every day. I haven't decided what gun I'm going to carry in it yet, but probably it'll be this one, the Ruger American, or the PSA Dagger. If I do carry the PSA Dagger, I have to take the venom off of it because it is not a shake-awake red dot, and I'm not going to carry a red dot that I have to turn on for self-defense. That's kind of a bad idea in my own humble opinion. And remember with IWB holsters, guys, you tighten a belt over this, it's actually going to be tighter than if you're sitting here holding it loose. So overall, I think that retention's good. I'll have to do some draw strokes with it and see. It may be too tight, and I may have to loosen it up once I put it in a belt. But there's the unboxing video for the Gun and Flower holster. This is a carbon fiber style Kydex IWB universal holster. So it's a hybrid holster with the neoprene backing and the Kydex shell. It's supposed to hold lots and lots of different guns. Again, with universal holsters, your mileage may vary, different guns, but you see I've just gotten a different group of guns here and showed you what do the trigger guard coverage look like? What does the sweat guard coverage look like? You know, is it going to work with every gun? No, but I think a Glock 17 to Glock 19 sized gun is going to fit in this pretty well. A smaller gun is going to have a little wiggle room, kind of like my EZ did. A shorter barrel gun like the Glock 26 is going to have a little room at the muzzle, but its frame and width size about like a 17 or a 19, so it's going to fit in there snug. So, you know, you be the judge. We'll see how it carries on the belt. I will do a follow-up video in about 2 months and show you guys how this carries. I'll show it to you with a gun on a belt, and I'll give you an update on kind of my carry results and how it works. So grabbed a few more guns because I was really interested in this universal holster. Shield, Smith & Wesson Shield in 45. Very hard to find a holster for. They make a ton of holsters for the 9 and the 40, not for the 45. This is probably my favorite carry gun in the summer. So again, and you don't get, with the Shield, I don't get that reliable click, but it does lock in pretty nicely. Again, this was set for actually a little thicker gun, and you can tighten it down, but fits in. You see there's a gap, so there's a little gap here, the muzzle, but it does fit in. And again, the sweat guard doesn't cover the entire gun, but it's a universal holster. So kind of excited to carry this. Might actually carry my Shield in it because it is summer right now. Let's try the Ruger Max 9. Again, not that satisfying click that I like to hear. Again, kind of a, you know, because it's a short gun. I mean, if you look at, you know, it's really, this holster was designed for a longer gun. So it's a short gun, but here we are. And with these shorter guns, you do get some wiggle. Doesn't look like it fits as well with the Max 9. This is a Glock 19 grip with a Glock 17 slide. This is a Timberwolf frame. I think KM Tactical is where I got the slide and the barrel. It's a cool ported barrel. You can see I didn't clean it the last time I shot it. Cool little gun. Little gun. Not a little gun. Let's see how that fits. So a Glock clone. Clicks in very nicely. Nice. That length is just a hair past. Just a hair past the neoprene. Don't know if that would rub or not. May carry this a few times. See how it does. Not a lot of wiggle with these bigger pistols. So this is really meant for a larger gun. And again, sweat guard coverage here, you know, so, and you set the retention on this one. It might be a little too tight with this big squared trigger guard. It really bites into it. So wanted to grab a few more guns and play with this universal holster. So universal holster here. Again, Gunflower. They do sell on Amazon. They sent this out to us. Going to be carrying this and see how it does. So anyway, but that's how several different guns fit in it. And hopefully that maybe answers your question based on your gun size. So this is a Glock 17 slide. If you want to see that exact size gun in here. The Smith & Wesson Shield, again, lengthwise, fits really good. A little wiggle. I don't worry about that as much if this is IWB, just because when you thread a belt through here and tighten your belt down, it is going to retain this better. So, and if that's a no-go for you, then that's fine. That's why I'm showing you this. So anyway, hope that answers some questions, guys. I'll let you know in a couple of months how it rides. So let's pull this out. So you got these rubber bushings here. And, there's why it won't work. Because there's holes. Okay, I thought this was one big slot. It's actually holes. And so I can move that down a hole. And then move this down a hole. My fumbly fingers will work. So that moves this clip up, which means the front of the pistol will be lower than the back of the pistol. And that'll cant the gun slightly forward. So that's, it'll also put it deeper into the belt. So put the front end of the gun a little deeper and put the back end a little higher. So anyway, tighten those back up to about where they were. Check our retention. So that's going to cause, when you put your belt on, for this whole thing to cant that way a little bit. So we'll see how that works. And it may be that it doesn't grip the belt right with the cant, and I have to move this one and keep it straight up and down. But that's going to put the gun deeper, and that's where I like to carry mine, is deeper into my pants usually. So these holsters don't ride deep enough in my belt. There's way too much gun sticking up, and the gun likes to flop over because I have love handles. And so we'll play with this, but you see that these are adjustable for ride height. I believe you can adjust it for cant. I will give you all of that info in the follow-up video, as well as my opinions on how it carries. So look out for that, guys. It will be coming, and I appreciate your support. Thanks for watching.